Google Hangouts. It's on the air. Live. In living color. All right. So let me see how I can get this up here. All right. Pull that up. Let me see if I can see the comments. Go ahead and ixnay you. Okay, we got Mama Cat, Amanda, Dutch, Perceiving a Life, Green Gables, Smoking Reptile. Now let me see if I can pull myself back up here. Okay. So I'm going to try to focus more and pay more attention to the chat than me. If it buffers a little bit and skips a little bit, maybe Hope or Kitty can let me know afterwards, and I might run to try to do some tests more. We got the wireless extender out of the house a little bit further this time, and if I need to try to move it closer to the garden for this afternoon show, then that's what we're going to do. So not only is this the morning water break, but this is also a test for in the garden. Hey, honey. So y'all can hear those birds? Wow. So here we are out in my garden. I'm sitting next to my spinach, romaine lettuce, and both breeds of spinach, the iceberg lettuce, and everything like that. Let me see if I can turn the camera to bring it to you. You can see that. Tilt it down a little bit. Wow, that's a lag. So I wonder how in the world can I pull that back up? Okay, Google Hangouts. Let me see. There we go. Woo, undangerous now, y'all. Undangerous. Dangerous. Dangerous. I did something and I broke it. Okay. All right. And as you can see, there's some of our leafy greens right there that we got planted and got it going on. Let me slowly move you back now, because I've been accused. Move you like right over there. Wow. So, all right. So, what's up, Pooper Scooper? And then over here to my other side, we've got cabbage, eggplant, cucumbers, straight neck squash, cabbage, Swiss chard, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, sugar snap peas, rutabagas, peppers, okra, and we're getting ready to plant some more stuff, some bush beans, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, them storms were rough. And as you guys can tell by my wood chips are still extremely, get out of my garden, extremely moist, as you can see. Very moist still. You can literally squeeze water out of them. So, and basically what we have done is I've made in my garden, we basically just made, it's one big honking garden, but I made tiny beds inside that garden. Now, the reason why I do this is a couple of reasons. One, it keeps things organized. Okay. There you go, B. Okay. It keeps things organized and makes things rotate and move things around each year. Plus, it also makes it extremely easy to keep things mulched. I don't have to mulch the entire garden. The walk paths can still have a light mulch on them. And then at the end of the season, the entire garden will get mulched again. But the thicker areas then will go, obviously, where the beds are because they kind of got mulched over. But then each year, the bed sizes go differently. They go in different directions. Because if you noticed with, and I don't know how easy it's going to be to see in here, but let's see. Okay, you see with my leafy greens right here that they're all going east-west, okay? The majority of them, they're going east-west. So I have more of the number, let me see, what am I talking right? I'm sorry. These beds are running north-south. The next beds are running east-west. So you've got the majority of the plants running north-south, okay? And then I'm going to have to pick you guys up. So don't look at the screen while I move stuff. Then if you look at that bed, right? North-south, there's only 3, but east-west, there's 4, okay? And what that does is it keeps things, whoops, lost the power plug. Keeps things in different directions, keeps them, it keeps the pests guessing, okay? Then it also keeps my nutrients in my ground in different locations. I'm not planting the same direction every year and have to stress about different amendments. B Lady asked, does it matter which direction do plants grow better in different directions? Well, yes and no. It doesn't. If you ask any botanist, he's going to tell you no. Okay, but if you get specific about it, then he'll tell you yes. Okay, because we're talking about rotation and we're talking about pest control. Okay, so yes and no to answer that question, B Lady. Now, once this garden is completely planted, then we're going to start adding different types of flowers around the garden, sporadically through the walk paths in the garden. Stuff like what Palmetto Paratrooper just said. He said marigolds are supposed to mask the smell of your crops, so the pests only smell the flowers. That is true. Marigolds will keep certain pests away from your vegetable garden. Aphids is a big one. And then what we'll also do is we will also hang more birdhouses around this area, hang more bird feeders around this area, bird baths. I'll probably put a bird bath right in the center of the garden somewhere for a couple of reasons. One, it's for beautification. It'll help break up the I don't want to use the word monotony, but I can't really think of a better one of the beds. You know, you got this square bed, that square bed, this round bed, this square bed, this trellis, da 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 da, and it's just basically for eye appeal. And the second reason uh, is to attract birds to come hang out, take a bath, and so whammo, right? Also, we have our 3 hives of honeybees right at the very end of our garden. We have our compost area where we have composter. We have our 3-tier composter. We have our worm composter, our tire composters, our black soldier flies composters, our leaf mold. I think that's it. But then on the other side of that is our bees. Now, what we're going to end up doing there with those bees is we're going to get another bird bath, and I'm going to stick it maybe 25 yards, 10 yards away from the beehives, um, to and put marbles or river rock, or not really marbles, I mean, stuff in there that their tops are just above the water, so the bees have a place to land, um, so that way they can get water. So, is your bird bath going to be self-watering? Well, if you count children coming out to put water in it, then yes. If not, then no. Um, so you put me on the no live notice list? What are you talking about, John? There is no list. So we are trying to turn today into somewhat of a better day. We lost power sometime during the night last night, and we lost a bunch of chicks, because we were still hunkering around the high 40s, low 50s around here. So I'm assuming that they just got too cold, and we had a massive die off last night. So we're going to have to go at it again. So I don't know how everybody has the time to maintain a home with lots of gardens, animals, and still work. I did something really wrong. We have lots of children, Suburban. That's why. We basically, what happened was Robin and I sat down, and when we decided to do this lifestyle, we decided that she was going to go get a job, and I was going to stay here and teach the kids and run the homestead. And so, as we started learning more about homeschool, we figured out that we can incorporate some of the things that we do here on the homestead into their homeschool lessons. Um, Simple things like laundry. Uh, Laundry becomes part of home ec. As you guys saw in the one video, laundry can also be put into science with the taxonomy experiment. Um, Gardening goes hand in hand with so many different things. Math, uh, history, science, all kinds of stuff. Animal husbandry can fall right in there. So it's one of those things that we were able to incorporate a lot of the stuff that we do here on the homestead into their schoolwork. And so now it's not putting out a garden, it's we got a science experiment to do. Because one of the things that it calls for in their botany book is for them to make a butterfly garden. Well, we substituted the butterfly garden, you know, and a lot of the bird houses and bird feeders, they're also in some of their flying animals science book, you know. So a lot of these things that we have around here, that we do around here, just falls in line with their science, with their apology of science. So yeah, exactly right. Faith abounds. At Melody Acre said, "Life and living is a classroom," and that's exactly right. And see, and that's one of the privileges and benefits of homeschooling. You can teach. You can teach things that they don't teach in the classroom anymore. They don't teach them how to make a budget in public school anymore. They don't teach them how to in public school anymore. They don't teach them basic home skills, keeping things clean, doing the laundry, dishes, cooking, sewing. They don't teach that stuff anymore. They don't teach basic carpentry. There's no wood shop anymore. No good wood shops. There's no auto mechanics in there anymore. There's no cursive handwriting anymore. There's no um, metalworking anymore. So they don't teach how to grow your own food either. Um, so it's just one of those things that we we felt that these lessons were extremely important for our children, and that's why we chose the lifestyle that we chose. So, and with that lifestyle comes certain sacrifices. You know, I had to get off of my um, high horse and realize that just because I am not, quote unquote, bringing home the bacon as in a paycheck, I had to realize that I was literally bringing home the bacon, and the steaks and the ground beef and the potatoes and the salad. So once I got out of the mindset of I was supposed to be the one that brings in all the dead presidents and realized that the dead presidents are just what they are. They're dead presidents is on pieces of paper. And at the end of the day, they don't really matter. But me, I'm literally bringing home the bacon, the chicken, the steaks, the roasts, the the leafy greens, the be advised, nobody come out the front door. We might have a coyote trying to come across.
Roger that. Over.
That once I realized that I was literally bringing home the food in the and once I got out of the mindset that I didn't have to, Blaze, keep a lookout in the back, make sure he didn't double back around on us.
Roger that. Over.
Keep an eye on the ducks and everything, and if you see him, you blast him with the 12 gauge.
I'm over here at the back and I don't see anything over.
Just stay aware.
Roger that. Over.
Okay. Sorry about that. Um, but it was just one of those things that once I figured that out, then all of a sudden it became a lot easier for us to do. Um, or at least a lot easier for me to do. I didn't really, because in the very beginning, I'll be honest with you, it was very hard for me to. I felt almost less of a man. Um, yeah, and that's the same situation. That was almost. I got a degree also, but I got a DD 214. But my degree would only be able to get me a job in a nursery or with a landscaping company, or to start my own greenhouse or something like that. So you're right. It only makes sense for guys like us to stay at home and do what we do. And once I got that through my thick head, I realized that no, it's not that I didn't realize. I guess the male ego kind of took over. Um, and then all of a sudden, the male pride started kicking in. And then that's why we've kind of got the big garden that we've got, all the ducks and the chicks and the cow. That's the reason why we got everything the way that we got it. Because then I made it my life's mission to be able to be the best homestead that's out there, you know. And I want to share everything that I've a lot of stuff along the way that that um, would benefit others also. So this is what we're doing today is working out here. Um, Robin and I had to. I'm calling a guy to see if they'll come pick it up and finish it, and see if we can get it running. Because, like I said yesterday, it's just above my pay grade now. All the electronic computer crap that goes with it. You start pulling off the wrong things and breaking the wrong stuff, then it's one oops or ah crap can cost you hundreds of dollars. So I'm gonna call somebody that's got one of them ASC certified deals, and Baldy is done. We got the call yesterday that we can go pick him up. No, it's a Dodge, Ricky. It's a Dodge. Um, I wish you would come out right there. Flash you right here on live TV. Um, what was I talking about? was talking about the truck, and let's see, get me a Chevrolet. Yeah, yeah. So we're excited about that. Then once the truck is done, um, we broke down and we we're probably going to get a riding lawnmower for me for the front part of the property that I can't um without causing too much drama. I can't bring my animals up here yet. Hopefully purchase the entire front part from that other family. Um, and then I won't have to worry about it no more. So as of right now, we are going to purchase a. Well, first we're going to have a huge yard sale and get rid of a lot of stuff that we don't need and don't use anymore. Then we're going to take that money and put a riding lawnmower with the bags because Blaze and I are building a square baler that we can do by hand. I know you guys have seen those things on the internet. Brought it to my attention, and so we're going to build that, and then and start to bale these grass clippings once they dry out. Bales of hay. um, happened. What happened to me last year with that drought? That was the very first time since we've been at our forever homestead in 3 or 4 years that I ever had to purchase hay. Usually, we have enough rain that our winter grasses come in thick and nice to where I don't have to worry about my cows. We're one homesteads around this area that the pastures were done correctly, where there is a spring, summer, fall, and winter grasses that have all been overseeded. And it's about time for me to overseed with clover again this fall. We're gonna have to buy a bunch of clover seed and overseed with clover this fall because my red clover is just about all gone. And so I need to get that back out there and some white clover and get more. I got the Bahia and the Bermuda and the winter rye and stuff like that that comes out. But this past this past drought, none of that grass really germinated all that well. And if it did germinate, the cows were on top of it and they ate it so fast that it didn't really have time to do anything. Um, so we had to bring in hay, and hay was scarce around here because of the drought. So hay went from being anywhere from $35 a round bale all the way up to almost $80, $90 a round bale, which was tough. Um, but we had to do what we had to do to keep our animals alive. Um, so we are going to build that square baler, and I'm going to use all of the grass that's in front of me and stuff that's down around the side of the muscadines, where we're going to be putting our soft fruit and stuff around the shop, around the turkey pen, and we're going to bale it. And I'm hoping to get maybe 10, 20 square bales. 10, 20, 100. Don't know. I've never done it before. So we're going to see. And then I've also got a bunch of pine trees on the very back portion of our property that we're going to take that square baler out there and square and bale up some pine straw. One, we'll bring it up here, use it as mulch around the um, blueberries, and then sell the rest, bring in a little bit of extra income. Um, Mother of Many Horses says hay can be stored for up to 2 years. Good to keep extra on hand just in case. Amen. This is going to be our very first time trying to do our own hay. Reaching out to you guys for a little assistance with that, because I know if you bale it too early and it's still too moist, that can cause mold. But if you bale it when it's too dry, that could cause a fire. So I got to figure out what it's supposed to look like or feel like or smell like um, when when it's the right time. So I'm completely ignorant when it comes to that. Um, so, but how much acreage do you have planted in the garden? It's probably the better part of a. This one I'm sitting in. Maybe a quarter of an acre, maybe half. Um, but I'm going to, on the other side of the pond, we're going to bust that ground up. And no, it's wet hay that will combust. See, I don't know. So, it's a mixture of grasses, my mobile homestead. There's Bahia, Bermuda. Um, there's some plantain in there. I think there's some Queen's Anne's lace. There's henbit. There's wood sorrel. It's just a mixture of stuff. It's a salad bar. Um, so this spot that I'm on right now, I believe I think it's like 97 feet long, maybe 100 feet long. Um, about 20 feet wide. About 20 feet wide. So whatever that one was. We used to bale it dry and let the bales sit in the full sun for a few. Hold on, dadgummit. Sit in the field when it was supposed to rain. For I don't know anything about hay whatsoever. So then the other area is probably that we're going to bust up for probably for the corn. Is going to be probably almost 200 feet long and approximately about 20-25 feet wide. Sam Stevens, you have not been banned. There might be something wrong with your internet, because if you were banned, you wouldn't be able to comment. So that's got to be on your end. So bye, my mobile homestead, and thank you for all your information. So, but this is my part of my homestead. I'm bringing you guys in now. You guys see that big honking oak behind me? It's going away. I hate to cut it down, but it is too. It's reached its point where it needs to be cut down because it was never taken. It was never taken care of. Um, and so now it's packed full of different pests and different and different things because it wasn't pruned properly, and you've got branches that are overlying branches, and so every time the wind blows, they rub on each other, and that causes sores. Just like us, if you were to take like an eraser and rub it on your arm, you remember when you were a kid, the toughness test? They used to do that, and um, same thing will happen. They develop sores, and those sores make the tree sick. The tree gets sick, it gets weak, and storms come along, branches start popping, and it's eventually going to become um, hazardous because it could pretty much go anytime. When can we see the garden? Ricky Wallace, if you show up to live streams on time, then you would have seen the garden. I've already kind of shown the garden a little bit. So I mean, here for Ricky, the army guy, because they just show up when they want to. You got, let's see, stuff over there. All right. And some more stuff over here. Now, what I'm going to try to do for this afternoon's show is I'm going to try to hook up the other camera, the camera that we use for our live streams in the schoolhouse, to see if that way I can get better footage of the you guys. So all right, so do we have any questions for today? So if you guys don't have anything to do, be watching um, probably here in the next hour or so. Um, I may pop on live just to do some tests with that new camera. I sure would like some feedback. How many animals do you have? 5 freedom acres. Okay. Well, we have over 100 chickens. We have 3 beehives. Right now, we have 1 cow, 2 heifers, a bull, donkey, 2 merino ewes. We have a breeding pair of royal palm turkeys. We just hatched out some more turkeys. We have quail. We have Muscovy ducks. We have a Chinese goose running around, but her days are numbered. Um, and then Apollo. It's not a new camera, Mama Cat. It's the one that we use for the that's connected to the big computer. It runs off a USB, and I should be able to plug it in to the Chromebook because I'm on the Chromebook. I have not Homestead Wannabe. That's my mistake. I've set it up so that way the live streams go unlisted, so then that way I can edit anything I need to edit, add into descriptions. To figure that out. And so I got to send that live. I forgot to send that live last night, and I'll do that here shortly after this is done. I absolutely love pickled quail eggs. Also, just my wife don't like it when I eat them because my booty becomes nuclear. Um, so, but that's about all. I know it ain't a lot, but we try. And it's all basically been a journey. Now, one of those, the cow is a dairy cow, 5 acres, and when she's in milk, she gives us about 3 gallons of milking. So we're getting roughly about 6 gallons a day. No, the baby quail. Remember, Mama Cat, these are still baby quail, so uh, they're not old enough yet. They should be in a couple weeks, though. um, so when I was talking about the dairy cow, okay. So we have her. One of the heifers is more dairy than beef because she was bred with a Hereford. Um, and so we do our two heifers are mixed dairies and beef. The one is definitely more. She has more of her daddy. She's more beef trait. Um, and and so right now, no, the bull is not separated because I kind of want him to get it on. So what do we do with 6 gallons of milk? Well, the very first thing we do is let the cream separate from the milk, and then we make butter. Then we use the milk as we normally would use milk, and then whatever milk is left over the next day goes to the pigs. It will Raw milk will fatten up a pig quick as anything. Apollo, Lone Star. I haven't checked email yet this morning. I'll check after this stream. Um, Raw milk will fatten up a pig real quick. Um, the Let's see, what else do we do with it? Sometimes we'll let it uh, go sour and give the curds to the chickens. Sometimes we just give the chickens some. We basically spread it out and mix it in the feed because it's also livestock, whatever we don't use. Now, sometimes people come to buy it for animals, so we sell it too. But it's got a sticker on it that says for animal feed only. But what they do with it is what they do with it. Um, Remember, guys, put your questions in all caps because out here it is extremely hard to read a lot of the comments. All right, cool. I'll get to it as soon as this is over, Lone Star. Um, so, yeah, goose eggs are awesome. Now, Michelle said they're great for pasta. We like to make our own pasta too, so we're going to have to give that a go. And if it works real well, then maybe, just maybe, I might not eat goose. I might let her stick around for a little while and just let her, and we'll just collect her eggs. You make real buttermilk with butter flakes still floating in it. Yep. Yep. That is absolutely true. And then biscuits are phenomenal. Hmm. So, uh, oh. Now, you guys know that we use this Bofang walkie talkie to communicate um, on our homestead. But what you guys may not know is that we use this Bofang here, okay, on the homestead also. This is a like little ham. How would you say that? Ham handheld radio. Okay. Now, one of the things that I like to use this for is I'll turn it on and I'll put on NOAA and the local sheriff's department. So that way I know if anything is going down. Um, Usually I'm running mine on the NOAA and the local law enforcement because he likes to try to figure out the codes. And then we also, when Robin and I leave to go to Anderson or to go anywhere, we take one with us, and then we have a specific channel that we go to that we're able to communicate back and forth with Blaze. So I almost got these wild onions the size of regular onions. That's sweet, palmetto. Yeah. So that's where we are. Well, I mean, Green Gables, you're right. I mean, he is a vital part of what's going on here. But when he leaves, Carol steps up into his role, you know? And that's just the way it goes with a working homestead. Then, hopefully he will sow his oats and then come back. Um, you know, and then live close by. And then we can homestead together, you know. But to each their own. Either which way, I'm setting this homestead up step by step so that way I can run it all the way up until I'm like 70. For my milking barn, I'm building it to where that the milking station is on a ramp and the cow walks up to the ramp and the milking machine can be right there so I don't have to bend over and I walk over and put it up. You're going to start to see raised beds um, in my garden in the next couple years that are going to be chest high. That way I don't have to bend over. I'm right here working it. So it's just one of the things that you've got to improvise and adapt, you know? These leaves, okay, it's time to stop really planting in the ground, and with Carol, we'll start building raised beds up high, my chest height, mama's chest height, so that way, and it's easier for her and I to do. And it'll just be wham bam. You come out here and then you plant. Jason, where did you see when? Where do you, Jason? Where do you see when your kids are grown up and it will just be Robin and me? Well, Robin and I have talked about that many, many a times. Probably by that time comes my property. This homestead will probably be worth a couple mil. Um, just because of the way everything's expanding and land prices are and everything like that. If the world is still intact and we haven't killed each other off with nuclear war or anything, my vote is to downsize to a 5 acre little homestead. um, we'll talk, Palmetto. Um, my vote used to be, let's go to the mountains. But the older I get, the more the cold plays havoc on me. Um, there's a part of me that now is that we have put sweat and tears into this place that I kind of want to be buried here. One of my requests is that when I die, to be cremated and then have my ashes put in a compost pile, or to be cremated and do one of those tree pot things where your ashes is in this pot, biodegradable pot, and they plant a tree in there, and it um, thing. So then be planted somewhere on my homestead. Once you've been homesteading for a while and you've busted your knuckles and bled and sweated and cried because you got a nice looking garden and then a storm comes through and the hail just beats it down and you're that's the best way to put it. Or you go out there and it's sleeting and you have to pick a newborn baby calf up and walk it straight up a mountain or a hill because this is the foothills of the Appalachia. Um, it's kind of hard to let it go. It's almost like a kid when a kid wants to leave the nest and go out and see the world, like Blaze wants to. I know I gotta let him go. I don't wanna, because he ain't ready for what's out there. But there's a part of me that says, you know what, goofball, you weren't ready either. But your daddy let you go. Um, but I don't know. That's so far off in the future. Maybe living in the mountains because we had to bug out here by then. So, but my long term goal is I don't want to rely on anything. I don't want to rely on anything for power. I don't want to rely on anything for food, for water, any of that. I'm at the point with society, like you guys saw yesterday my rant, that I'm ready to just sit back and watch them kill each other off. Um, they're just greedier and it's heartbreaking to watch humanity basically turn on itself because that's exactly what's happening. So yep, we are probably going to go on a dandelion hunt either today or tomorrow, or maybe even this weekend after lunch. Um, and it's just I make some jelly and some wine. Robin. So that's right. This world is not my home. Amen. That's about it for today. So, what kind of tree do I want to be? You know, Green Hill Acres, that's a very good question. There are so many good trees out there. Would I want to be an oak? That way, my acorns can drop and bring in the deer and the other wild critters. That way, my children and my children's children can hunt those deer, can trap those critters. Um, or do I want to be a fruit tree? The right fruit tree can bring out beautiful flowers with a beautiful fragrance. And it also turns into fruit that can be harvested. And those same concepts apply that those fruit trees can also draw in the wildlife, you know? Or is a nut tree more fitting just because of how crazy I am? And then they could sit up underneath that nut tree when they're gathering and harvesting all of the nuts and remember how nutty I was. or how crazy I was or how silly I was. Um, I really don't know. I'm thinking more of a fruit tree, kind of like an apple or a pear, um, because when they do have to prune me, then they will also be able to use those prunings as chips and to be able to smoke and get really good flavored meat. So that's what I'm probably thinking. So this is weird about Sam Stevens because she can post in the chat, but she's saying she can't hear or see me. Hmm. Yeah, I am a pretty fruity guy. So, you know, just one of those things that. So, all right, guys. Well, we got to get back at it. We got an hour before lunch before mom gets home, so we need to get some more stuff done. And I'll see you guys this evening on In the Garden with Big Bear. And we're going to be right back out here, hopefully being able to show you more of the garden. Pope Backyard is the last one I answer. Yeah, and the answer is yes, we do. So, matter of fact, we're going to get probably knee deep here pretty soon in animal auctions with cows. Um, so, you guys, see you this evening. Y'all have a great day. Be productive. Plant something. How do I say that? Just be blunt. Plant something, and then take that one that takes you one step closer to true freedom. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you this afternoon. Bye.